Good morning, evening, and variations thereupon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Empires of the Undergrowth. The guys at Slug Disco have, in the last couple of days, released a massive update to the demo version of their real-time strategy game, Empires of the Undergrowth. It has a new level. It has lots of changes, both graphically and gameplay-wise, and the whole thing feels brand new. So I'm going to dive in and play the new level, which is Surrounded, whereby you play basically an endless mode whereby things will spawn around you, and you have to survive and take food from your fallen enemies and such like. Now, there are some crazy kind of things you can do with this. There have been people who have got hundreds of thousands of points with various setups, but I'm not going to go for any of the current meta inverted commas. I'm just going to play for fun and see how far we get. Just before I start, though, at this point, I will also point out that the guys are currently competing in IndieDB's Top 100 Indie Game of the Year. If you guys fancy supporting Empires of the Undergrowth and Slug Disco, visit the website. I'll put a link down in the description. Just sign in with your account, register your vote, and the guys would very much appreciate it. They've worked so hard on this game, and they are continuing to work hard on this game because it's nowhere near done yet. Any support you can give them in that regard would be very much appreciated. But anyway, let's get back to Surrounded. We're just going to dive in now, start playing. I'm not try-harding here. I'm just playing for fun. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we've got various modes of difficulty with this. We've got casual, moderate, intense, and free play. Free play means that you'll have no enemies spawn randomly. You get to spawn them yourself, and you can spawn food for yourself if you like. So it's kind of a nice chilled out if you just want to play with an ant colony. But I don't, so I want to actually play a game. So I'm going to play moderate today and see how we do. Okay, and we increase the score by killing various creatures. So let's just drag out some tiles here. Get the easy food that's nearby. Now you'll see the graphics are much better. The tiles look much more different than they did before. They were much more uniform in previous builds, but now they are not. But anyway, we do have to actually keep on top of things here because enemies will start to spawn pretty soon. So let's build some food storage. Now it's kind of difficult for me to talk about the changes that have been made to this game because they are so numerous. Probably the biggest one compared to previous playthroughs I've done for you guys is this at the bottom here, this pheromone marker system. Now this group of ants here, this 7 you see, these are the ones that you get as the queen, with the queen at the start of the level. That's one group of ants because they're all together. I can move them, say, to, let's say, the green marker here. Select the green marker and place a pheromone marker here by right-clicking. And now the ants will form a little trail. They'll go between the pheromone marker and the queen. But I'm going to take them off of this because I want them to actually go and get some food for us. That becomes more useful tactically later on as you try to, you're dealing with soldier ants and such like. But anyway, let's make sure, actually, I am going to put them in a pheromone marker and send them to some food here to make sure that we collect it. So things that are on one of these pheromone markers they'll look, I think the devs said 4 tiles around them to look for jobs, and jobs might be things like putting eggs on tiles or collecting food. So now, yeah, we've already got a spawn up here. We've got a Devil's Coach Horse adult. So if we don't get a shift on, we're gonna find ourselves in trouble pretty soon. So I'm gonna create a few soldier tiles, maybe only 4 or 5 at the moment, because we have got enemies spawning now. And I'll move those to the green pheromone marker trail. but we need more food desperately. We are also going to need more workers soon, so I'm going to put a big area out here for them to dig out, and I'll put down 5 or 6 new workers, quite close to the Queen, so they don't have to move very far. Okay, yeah, we've got our soldiers starting to spawn now. Well, one of them has. The rest of the workers were sent to go and move food. I did that. So if I move them out of the pheromone marker, they should pick up other jobs. So yeah, you'll see that now these are coming to add eggs to the brood chamber for our soldiers. Okay, yeah, and we've got our second group of workers coming in here. So I'll move our second group to our orange pheromone marker here. Yep, okay, we've already got some attackers. So we've got some enemy black ants up here. So I'm going to send my black ants up. Now, there's a few changes in the AI here as well. The workers will fight, whereas they used to run away in the event of danger, but they'll now fight. Which, wow, what a baptism of fire for this lady. Born straight into battle. Battle-born. Okay, yeah, we're going to need to make sure we get this other food. Yeah, thankfully this adult coach horse larva, no, it's not a larva, sorry, it's a coach horse, it's a beetle, hasn't taken an interest in our colony yet. It's in a kind of passive mode right now, or neutral. So what we could probably do with now is a few more soldiers, because it won't be long before we do get a bit more unwarranted interest from the enemies that are spawning. I mean, down here we've got some more black ants. Some more black ants up here. We've got two mini maps now. The one with the spider's web on it here will be for the surface, which is not yet implemented, but you can see how the guys are preparing for that to eventually be the case. Okay, so now we just need them to get some eggs. Yeah, there we go. The girls are putting eggs down on the tiles, so they're starting to hatch up. Yeah, okay. And now you can see why we quite urgently needed some soldiers. But we've still got food that isn't collected yet, so we'll... sorry, I sent the wrong marker there. Put that back up. Now, the markers, they take a little while to gain full influence. Like, the number that appears next to the pheromone markers indicates how many ants have noticed it. And you'll see kind of a ghost if you move the marker, like just say for instance I move it there, you'll see there's kind of a greyed out ghost version as the old marker loses influence and the new one gains influence. Okay, where can we go for food now? We're going to have to... we've got a little bit of free food up here that we don't have to fight for, so we'll go for that. I'll set a pheromone marker up here so that they prioritise the food. I think we're going to be alright this time. But we've got a lava coming, so our ladies will need to attack that. Just going to expand this area slightly so we can get some food down again. We've got more spawns. We've got the adult hasn't taken any interest in our colony yet, which is lucky for us. So let's put down some more soldiers. Probably comfortable with putting that many down. Now, if I want 2 groups of soldiers to control, I have to make sure that they're in separate like brood areas. Like this here, these 19, as you can see, if I hold it down here, they're highlighted there. If I wanted to have a separate one that I can control separately, they need to be separated by at least a tile, otherwise they become one chamber. So I am going to start setting up a second soldier chamber over here, well away from my other one. Okay, we're almost out of food that we can get for free now, so I'm going to have to attack, let's say, this group of ants here. So let's, this 19, I'm going to set the pheromone marker here, and then once this gets up maybe 7 or 8, oh dear, have I just made a huge mistake? No, I haven't. Thankfully, I managed to cancel it in time, but yeah, we're going to have to deal with this this lava. If I hold down Alt, you can see the health of all the creatures, so you can see we're nearly beating it. Okay, right, so now we've got a little bit of time to come and deal with this little group of, I believe, black ants. Yeah, there we are. Our score's 190, but there are people with hundreds of thousands of points. I think, yeah, that's unreasonable for us in this playthrough. But yeah, there are people who are much better at this game than I am. Okay, and then yeah, once we've dealt with again, when an ant dies, the tile that it occupies will respawn. We've got the coach horse adult coming now, so we're going to have to send our. This is a new ability that the adults have now. They have a spray ability which will confuse your ants for a couple of seconds. They'll lose track of what they're doing, so it allows the coach horse time to time to attack you for free, basically. Okay, we've got a big problem coming up now. Ooh, blimey. Yeah, that very loud noise of the coach horse adult dying is a bug. If you'll excuse the phrase. Good lord, we've got something very large that has spawned. Welcome to the Beach Tiger Beetle. This thing is huge, it's fast, it does huge damage, and I hope we're prepared for it, because it can completely decimate your army. Okay, so we are going to have to, quite urgently, collect this food here. Because if that thing decides to stop being neutral, we're kind of dead. Because it's massive, high damage, high speed, high aggression. Here it comes. Oh, it's backed off again. No, it's just wandering around randomly at the moment, which is lucky for us. No, it's engaged. Okay, right. We have to get in there. We have to send both sets of our soldiers in there, because it'll just destroy them. This may be a very short playthrough, guys. We've had a tiger beetle spawn this early. As long as the workers can carry on placing the eggs and keep respawning our armies as they die, we'll be okay. In fact, I think we'll just about get away with it this time, but maybe not again. You'll see this black ant here is also tunneling into our nest, which makes things a bit trickier. Okay, a good thing about the tiger beetles is when they do die, they'll drop a bunch of food for us, so that helps. Here he goes. There you go. You see, as it despawns, a bunch of jibs on the floor. So we can replenish our larder a little bit at least. A bit more food storage. Some more black ants. Oh, there's a little bit of food here that we can take for free without having to engage anything. So we'll take that. We could probably do with a few more workers as well at this point. So I'm going to just put that many workers down. Ah, we have actually disturbed a bunch of enemy black ants as well. So I'm going to move our pheromone trails for our soldiers down here. It'll take a little bit of time, but we'll be alright. It's just we'll be a bit low on workers for a short amount of time. As long as we don't get down to 0 workers, we'll be okay. Yeah, it is something that they should probably fix at some point. If you have 0 workers, then that's it, you're done. But yeah, we're fine. In this case, I'm going to set the workers to come down here, next to the queen. If they're near the queen, they'll pick up jobs for egg laying, or egg planting rather. The A quite large change as well in this game mode is that black ants will help with the collecting of food. They won't do nest jobs like digging or preparing tiles or placing eggs, but they will collect food for you, which is very useful. Okay, 1,340, not doing too bad. I'll sip my drink there, lovely. Okay, we've got lots of stuff spawning. I am going to expand this group of black ants a bit. I probably want to take on this. I'm pretty sure by the look of it that this is coach horse larvae, which should be quite easily copable for 25 black ants. So if I just set that pheromone marker there, and I'll do this. We've got another tiger beetle spawned. Down here we've got an adult, and there we've got some black ants that have decided to attack us now. So I'm gonna set my smaller group of black ants that are here to deal with these ones. Yeah, and as this other group, as their trailers, as they see the enemy black ants, they'll come and attack them. So we're fine on that front. There shouldn't be a problem. Again, you can separate out your nest any way you like, as long as you think about the layout of your nest. As long as the various kinds of ants. If you want two kinds of two separate chambers of worker ant, for instance, you have to make sure that they're not touching. It's as simple as that. You just have to think a little bit about the layout of your nest, and that's a good thing. Okay, so we're gonna. The sound effects are nice, aren't they? We've got two tiger beetles spawned now, currently idling, and a few adults, so I do need to think about militarization. Oh dear. Okay. Okay, we have a large problem. Due to the tunneling of enemy black ants and my own exploration, we have actually engaged a tiger beetle early. So let's hope we can take this out without too much problem. We've also got another tiger beetle that's spawned. Let's see how we do. This is survival mode. Eventually I will die. It's just a case of how long I can go for. I'm not comfortable with making any more oh dear, right. Okay, this has come straight to my queen. So yeah, this might be the end, guys. The queen isn't being touched yet. The tiger beetle is dealing with ants at the moment. Now the queen has been here. I think this is probably the end. It's just I'm dead. This is just This how changeable this game mode is, but that's it. Yeah, it is random. I am also a little bit terrible at it, but yeah, you get the idea. That's surrounded. I'll certainly do another video on it, but for the time being, there it is. The game is up on IndieDB and GameJolt to download. The demo is for free. If you're a backer, there's also an updated backers level, the holdout one. If you're a backer on Kickstarter or PayPal. But that's it for this video. So enjoy and remember to vote for the guys on IndieDB's Indie Game of the Year. So that's it, and I'll see you guys later.